but they decided to sell those stations.
Yep.
So last year in April, it was like, oh, hey, we love what you're doing. You're doing a great job. I turned the number 4 station in the market to the number 2 station.
Nice.
And all these things. And then they were like, but your position is no longer available here at El Dorado, and you got to go. So, and then I was like, okay, I had
good
this.
work on that. Good thing you pivoted.
Yeah. So, what I did is I came over here to the college. My friend Troy Love, shout out to Troy Love, said, go pitch it to the college. And Dave, I don't know if you got to meet him on your way in, the GM, he said, that's exactly what we're looking for.
Nice.
Something community, right? Something where it's uplifting. And so basically what you're saying, that's what we need.
Well, I feel right at home.
Good.
We've got rock and roll. We got Veronica in the Blue. We got the Boston Bruins guy running sound over here. No, it's kind of common sense. And I commend you for not burning out 15 years in that.
Yeah.
Because it's confrontational, and I'm not anti-politics. I give the gift of freedom of speech still, like we all do.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that a lot of my clients are like, good. If I'm doing an all-staff training in front of 500 people, the entire company, you have to be very aware of the situation in the audience, as Veronica said. And it's sometimes I'll say something like, hey, I'm human, but it's not me intentionally poking the bear to poke bear for shock value. And it seems with social media, which you're active on, we're active on with our company since it started, is the more shocking, the higher view count, the more comments.
Well,
and it's almost like a strategy of get people upset, and then you get view counts and you get paid.
Okay, I want to give you a little bit more background. Yeah. So I do social media for a living. I have a marketing and advertising company. That's what I do when I'm not here.
You know.
So I know. And then if you look at, especially Twitter or X, you kind of get rewarded for being controversial, and you get rewarded for the salacious, even more so, right? If you get really mean, right, and then you're going to get ranked higher because that's what gets people going. And again, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay away from that, even though there's little cheap stuff that I could do real quick to get that attention.
Because you know how to do it.
I know how to do it.
Can you tell?
A fellow Jedi has entered the conversation.
No, when I first started, I was great at it, but then it was like, it's yucky. Then it's like, nah, I'm not going to do it anymore. So I stay away from it. But yes, within social media, there's a reward system for getting that way. And so to find your niche outside of that is very peculiar, right? So I know a guy that actually his whole YouTube channel is based on being even and fair and chill, and he's kind of rose to the top, and he doesn't pick sides. It's crazy. I forget the guy's name. It's Alex something, but his whole thing was like he'll have people debate on either side. He's an atheist, but he doesn't push it, and he has this whole thing, and it's just, I'm chill.
Maybe he's got something figured out that we don't.
Right? See? And it kind of sounds like that's along the lines you're doing. But I want to know, how do you capture people's attention without doing that, without being salacious?
I think the key thing is know your audience the best you can. Who is the right fit for you? And it's sort of threading that needle in the haystack. The first 5 years as a speaker and a writer, I was like, I would take any gig. When you're a startup, you're like, need money, revenue, cash flow. You're figuring out who's a fit and who's not. So it's becoming more selective. I think the other thing too is when you do a great job is over deliver. And when you do that, people will refer you.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I'll share today with the groups that are bringing me in is that common sense is to ask, do a good job, then ask for introductions. So there's a big clue for anyone listening now or time shifting later is if you do a great job, go back and say, hey, who are a couple other people you can introduce me to that maybe I could do the same thing for? Simple. And what's been interesting, the funnel of teaching and writing has gotten to where when I train now, it's much more simple than it was 25 years ago when I started. So I think the attention span's an issue. We're all overtaxed, and if it's 10 steps to do it, people get to step 3 and they bail.
Yeah.
Most people don't make it beyond page 20 in any given book. We know this as writers. So you hopefully can grab them. If they open it up, great. If they get to page 10, great. If they make it beyond page 20, it's a miracle. It's just the world we're in. It's the reality or the stoic approach of knowing that, hey, there are proven ways to do it. It's not sexy. There's no algorithm involved with the human connection. A lot of times it's offline that produces the online, and the online's getting so crowded. I mean, it's fun preaching to the choirs here. You know this. It's to get noisier and noisier and noisier.
Yeah. So then originally when you started to tackle it, was that the connection? Was that the basis for it? You try to go that direction?
For sure. I think that word of mouth marketing still wins. What's cool, you may have a larger audience listening right now live than some major cities. It's so fragmented, and you worked in the system. I had trained some radio station groups that went through the acquisition, and they bought everybody up and kicked everybody out.
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
So the people that built this thing, well, it's short-term thinking, but to me, it's fun to see this type of scenario. I feel like I'm in an old studio back in the 80s, 90s. And that's not a negative.
No,
what's
that's
old is new again in many circles. And it's like, you got a great production team here, the cameras, you're legit. Like, wow, this is cool to see some of the old realms of radio at the local level.
And you saying that again, that's kind of speaks to my vision, because I was like, it's going to come back. It's going to cycle back because it's too noisy. I knew that. It was like, the people are going to want this because they're going to look for a place where it's not noisy like that, confrontational, that they're going to look for a place of rest. So, and I love old school radio.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're exactly right.
All we hear is Radio Gaga. Radio Queen, under 40. Go to Spotify and pull that song up.
If you don't know Queen. But so how was your first few books received?
Yeah, still in the game. I'm grateful. I'm always thanking an audience. Sometimes you're like, you're always thankful. I'm like, why not? I get to write and speak for a living. There's been some years that have been really good, some years that are sort of flat, and there's been some tough years.
So when you said write and speak, but to become a speaker, like, they're not booking you right away on your first book, right? Like it takes some time to kind of get in there. And then what was that like?
I'll sound like the lawyer hour here at 94.7, brought to you by Tony Bernstein Law. It depends. I had the advantage that I had a market. And I went back to a lot of clients. They're like, you need to go out. When I left the ad agency, my former friend and partner was like, dude, you need to write and teach. So the first book was written when I was vice president of an ad agency.
Oh, okay.
And he was very cool about it, very forthright, and said, you're not going to be here long. You're going to be teaching around the world. So I'm very grateful to Tom, if he's listening, back in Grand Haven.
So why
Michigan,
did he say that? Like he saw something different in you? Like, what was it?
I
Did he tell you?
I was in Toastmasters for years.
Okay.
So long before I had a paid gig, I was practicing.
You knew how to speak.
present in front of a board of directors.
Oh, gotcha.
And children gather on the campfire. This was before social media. So a lot more face-to-face, one-to-many, one-to-a-group was much more dominant. Now we can transmit via Zoom, YouTube, Hulu, anything you want, you can put it out there like we're doing now. So it's one to masses. But back then, I sound old. Dad, stop saying that. I knew that to be good in sales, which I love to do in marketing, you got to be able to communicate. And the speaking was rehearsed hundreds of times, practiced long before I made a penny as a speaker. So when I made the jump, I had 3 little kids at the time. And my former wife, Kim, I thank her because she was extremely supportive those first few years. We cashed it all in and went, go.
Wow.
Like, here we go. And I've never forgotten that, those first few years, our marriage didn't make it, but she was very supportive. So there's been a lot of people along the way that have been with you the whole journey. Some have come and gone. But you look at it and say, we had the advantage, we knew how to market. And that's, most authors write a book. Okay, if you're listening or you're thinking about a book, you get the book done, phenomenal. Congratulations. But 99% of the work just starts.
Yes.
After you finish writing the book.
You're going to be out promoting. We give out hundreds of copies for free. It's an investment. It's not an expense. We send out hundreds of these. Are still, the new book has been only out 3 weeks. It's still hitting desks of CEOs, clients, media that haven't even seen it. So it's giving back because you build an audience that says, hey, there's a relationship here.
Absolutely.
And I just keep coming back like a cockroach.
Yeah.
Like, you're back with something new.
Well, last time you were here, you gave me one of your books, and I have it on my desk, and you open it, and it's the one with the dates and the quotes.
Yeah, positive disruption.
Positive disruption, yeah. So you open it, and it's like February 2nd or whatever, and you open it, and it gives you a little motivational quote, and it's usually always on target. Just want to say, it's.
I'm glad you remembered that, and thank you for that. I think the key thing is also having a good team. Kelsey Sanders, I'd be remiss, is like the MacGyver on our team at Mind Capture, helped edit and write some of the questions.
Oh, nice.
And she got a co-writing credit. I'm like, you are definitely going to get co-writing credit on the front cover of Volume 2 because it's a team effort.
Yeah.
This unit, there are 5 to 6 people right now working on the words and the video capture in real time.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's maybe 1 or 2 more. So it's a team effort as well. And it sounds cliche like a Facebook meme, but you cannot rise and serve more people or reach a large audience with a good team around you.
So after the break, you're going to tell us how you ended up in Yuma.
Yes, we're going to do
boy.
that. Yes, it is time for a break. I was captivated, so he got my attention. It works, guys. It works. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
K-pop fans, what is K-pop for Borders' favorite day? Valentine's Day, of course. Join me to kick off the Valentine's season on K-Pop for Border for some new jeans in Hyphen, BTS, and more. K-Pop for Border airs on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Kofa Radio. Stream the show on KAWC's app or website, or follow K-Pop for Border Facebook or Instagram.
Tom Hacksaw Colson had a 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid that lived a previous life working in photo radar. After using it for years car camping, Tom's car died right outside of Parker. Rather than tow it, Tom donated the car to Border Radio. If you'd like to donate your vehicle, running or not, visit borderradioaz.org/cars.
You're listening to 94.7 FM, Kofa Border Radio. I'm Juan Garcia from the KWC Newsroom. The weather forecast for Yuma today is mostly cloudy with a high near 76 and a north wind around 5 miles per hour. Cloudy this evening and then gradually clearing with low around 52. An 8th grader at Centennial Middle School won first place at the 80th annual Yuma County Spelling Bee. To read more, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned to 94.7 FM, Kofa Border Radio.
The AWC Foundation is accepting nominations for the Arizona Western College Hall of Fame through March 14th. The Hall of Fame honors alumni, faculty, and community leaders who have made significant contributions to the mission of the college or in service to the larger world. More at foundation.azwestern.edu.
Bopping to the new beats heard around the world, or relaxing to the tunes of Memory Lane. We are your non-commercial source of music. Run by volunteer hosts, this is KOFA Border Radio, 94.7 FM, 1320 AM, on the Kofa app, or at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here speaking with author Tony Rubleski. And so we left off Yuma. Veronica was telling me that you were here a time before. Mm-hmm. How did you end up in Yuma? And what were you doing the first time here besides giving Veronica this book?
He just came here to change my
just
life.
For that.
It was to give out free books tour. This is the 4th time.
Oh, really?
It's
I was talking
time.
with John Hessinger, who brought me in, has been an amazing friend.
Yeah,
but
John's
I came in
awesome.
like 2016 or 17. Dave Keel, who retired, used to own Remax here in town.
Okay.
The Foothills. He brought me and he saw me in a Remax tour.
Nice.
He said, you need to come to Yuma. So I came to Yuma almost 10 years ago. It's about every 2 or 3 years we come back. So it's like the Hotel California. I can check in, but I can never leave. Hello, Yuma, I'm back.
You're
And I
here.
love it here. I mean, the sunrise this morning, the people are cool. It's just, Arizona's nice.
So the first time though, he found you. Like how'd that happen?
He saw me speak in, I think, Las Vegas for Remax. They put me on a tour. I already did 20
gotcha.
cities with Remax, and he was in the audience with Remax.
Gotcha.
He's like, we stayed in touch. He probably got a book.
Yeah.
So that's here's the secret marketing: give away books
Give
if
away
you
books.
can.
Yeah.
And it'll come back to you. So I got to give Dave Keel a thank you, and that started the whole thing. John Curtis, who used to run the Yuma Chamber, brought
Hi,
me
John.
in the first. Yep, John's up in Verde Valley, I think.
He'll be listening to us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Gordis, good to hear from you. So that's the second trip. And then John brought me back in right after COVID. So we had like 13 or 14 people because the world was just starting to open up. I reached out to John last fall. I said, hey, I've got an event up in Sedona. Let's come back. Let's do it. So again, it takes the team. Mm-hmm. So, and again, I'm like the nickel that keeps coming back. Like, come back. I'm like, okay, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, you got it. So we mentioned you were talking a little bit off air. You got to open up for Green Day when you were younger, and so you're an artist. So obviously you have a big personality. So was that always there as when you were an artist? Did you develop that then, or was that coming later?
It was Toastmasters.
Well, I know Toastmasters will teach you to speak, but
.org.
But but I've seen people in Toastmasters speak this way. It's like
I think it's one of those
repeat
things-
it back. Remember, this is how you do it. Start a sentence, or you got to repeat it back, or whatever. But no, it's like it has to be more than Toastmasters. So were you into that in those early stages?
I think it's being the youngest of 9 kids. And people go, why are you a speaker? Because if you didn't speak up, you didn't eat.
That is so true.
There's a lot of drive. There's dynamics. I love my brothers and sisters. A couple of them are in heaven. But I grew up in such a cool, eclectic household of all
gotcha.
that
It all makes sense
music
now.
from Peter Frampton on the headphones and when I was like 3 or 4 years old to LP records and other things you don't talk about. that are now legal. But that said, I love humans.
Yeah.
And my family's like, since you came out of the womb, you're like, you love people. And to me, I've always been pretty happy. I've had some years of struggle. The new book is a lot of points of, bankruptcy, addiction. I've screwed up epically. And it's not that I want to talk about that and I need an attaboy or ever want to insult the family, but it's that when you're out 21 years self-employed, you're going to see valleys. And how do you come out of it? And there's people that are like, the new book, like, we didn't know this. Well, you got to make sure your family's cool. My current partner, Sheila, our team is ready. Clients, so they don't freak out. And some of it started to come out when I did a TEDx talk in 24 about how gambling saved my life. So it took me 10 years to finally get a TEDx talk on the topic that was one of the darkest moments of my life.
How
that I would talk about
gambling
for
saved
years.
my life.
The committee's like, that's the one we want.
Okay.
But I had been rejected 30, 40 times with TEDx talks from Seattle to Detroit. And what I kept hearing, and there's some instruction here for everyone listening, is you're too polished, you're too good. So I was typecast because of Toastmasters and being a writer. They Google me and go, no, you're going to try to sell your books. And I even heard some stuff in the world where like, well, certain promoters in different cities, like, you're just too white. So even I heard that. So not to divide people, but the thing is, being a human is a unique experience. We're going to go through valleys. We're going to go through highs. We're going to go through periods where it feels like steady, nothing's happening. And you say, what's the mindset? Are you going to quit? Or are you going to get back up? And shameless plug, Don't Quit, Do It is book 10. Because it's like a memoir. And we're putting it in there. And I'm like, are you prepared? Because here we go.
So this is book 10, and you said don't quit. So is it because some of those valleys, did you kind of want to quit, or was it part of the in the back of your head because you're struggling with something, and this is birthed out of those moments?
It's a great question. And again, we're brand new. We kicked today. US store, so
We're the first
this
tour.
is
Cool,
fresh.
this is great. This is awesome.
This is fresh and live on KAWC. I think to answer it, yes, there were days I'm like, why are you doing this? You can go out and get a job. Nothing wrong with that. I've got several clients that'll hire me or hire me in different capacities independently. So I said, you know what? You cannot quit. And it may take months. It may take a year. I look at the career of writing books. And I say, you know what? There's been some years that were just like, man, what were the lessons from being in the valley, the contrast of being down? 2024 was a crazy year. I did the TEDx talk at the end of that year. But the 9 months prior to that, because the talk was in October, I had issues with one of my children. I mean, that's life. My mom, we're trying to relocate her. I had an issue with a stalker. I had 2 lawyers on retainer in the summer of 2024. Wow. I'm not proud of it. I don't make that kind of money. It was stressful. But I said, one day at a time. I had good mentors. I had good friends and coaches. In a support system, I said, all right, slow it down a little bit.
Slow it down.
You cannot fix all these 3 convergent issues at one time. One day at a time. That's a lot of recovery language there. But slow it down and say, all right, here we are, one day at a time. Higher power, let's do this. And as each day went through the summer, there were some days I'd sit in the house writing this manuscript going, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What is going on? And I don't reveal all that in the book to hurt anybody. There's certain things that aren't even in the book because of space, and it has to be about the audience, that are omitted because there's not enough time.
Wow.
But some of the major markers, we asked the team, they're like, you got to put it in. You're holding punches if you don't put in some of the deep, dark stuff because that's not real.
Yeah.
That's not being an entrepreneur. That's not life.
Right.
It's going to knock you down several times.
Oh, absolutely. It's, when I got let go in April, I'm doing this thing for 15 years. I'm the marketing and promotions manager.
That's your identity.
Yeah, it was everything. Yeah. And then in April, this is how it happened too. Corporate, I've never met corporate. They come down. It was like, oh, cool. They're going to come down and tell me how great of a job I've been doing, right? Huge success. We changed formats on one of the stations, and it was a huge success there. And you're doing a great job, but then they let you go. Yeah. And so I had a dark period of time there because I just had a brand new baby girl. Getting a brand new relationship, engaged, all of these things. And it was like, it just crashed within, within months. My house got flooded. I was outside of it was, dark times while I'm doing this show.
You needed this book.
Sir, I have a book for you.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's like, I'm going to
give it to him right away. Veronica, you two can fight over it. That's his.
And how you said, though, I was like, and I've had great mentors. Shout out to Chris Tortorici. I've had a great mentor. He's a local artist and minister here. And it's like, his his voice was in my head like Yoda, right? And I'm going through
There is
this.
no try, only do, Jedi.
Yeah, and he, and this is after we've had, like, he's no longer my mentor because we have this issue going on. So we've kind of separated, and I just have to remember what he said. Remember, I'm just going through it. It's going to be all right, day by day, and little by little. I'm going through this when I first started the show in June. We just started June 30th.
Congrats.
Last year.
This is 7 months. Look where we're at.
Yeah, and but so I can definitely relate. So do you know or can you remember any of the things that your mentor said that kind of kept you going? Is there anything that kind of sticks out, or any particular mentor?
Dan Kennedy is mentioned a lot, and there's another guy named Ben Gay, the third. So he's not the sports cream. If you're over 50, you know what I mean? You know, get sore muscles.
It gets
But
you achy.
Dan and Ben, Dan is my marketing Jedi of almost 30 years. And Dan has, you hear me talk about him today, is Dan taught me this, Dan taught me that. And it's not overly shameless, but he's been that much of an influence, and he's the marketing wizard.
Okay.
I remember going back 2011, I was at his home in Cleveland, Ohio, and I got ready to leave. He knew I was at the edge of my divorce. It was almost over, and he goes, Rubleski, don't worry about this. I know it's tough. He'd been through one. He goes, you know how to make money, you're going to be fine. That little sentence, opening the door to leave his home, meant the world to me. I still remember it crystal clear because I was down. I got lawyers. A year later, I filed for bankruptcy. That happens during a divorce. I didn't want to do it, but my lawyers are like, you can't afford all these new bills, and you got some debt, deal with it. Now, that was 15, 16 years ago. But those words leaving Dan's house were critical. Ben Gay III is in the book as well, taught me about focus. He calls it fly the plane, son. Just fly the plane.
Fly the plane.
And when I flew here today or a couple days ago, when I fly out later in the week, I want that pilot to not be on their phone, he or she. I want them focused on the mission. And that's the big challenge is when the world's noisy and noisy and noisy, and we all have the phone and commitments and family and stress, how do you get things done?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of the book weaves in these stories from the mentors that influence me. Because I want to give them credit. It's not just the Tony Show.
Absolutely, and that's a big part of it, showing that appreciation. And then as you appreciate, it lives with you more, right?
Totally.
It kind of stays within you, and you show that appreciation, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is what helped me get through. So what can we do to get through the noise? If you could just break it down right now for somebody listening, what are some easy, quick practices you could do to kind of break through today?
All right. If I have the ultimate answer, we're all billionaires in this room. So here's my quick read, straight out of some of the work in the book. First off is make a timeout and say, you know what? This too shall pass. And it sounds hokey, but simple resetting techniques where you take your mind and say, timeout, call a timeout. Go take a walk. There's an entire chapter on pattern interrupts. I learned this from Tony Robbins.
Okay.
He learned it from other teachers. Okay. Jim Rohn is one of his mentors. Is that essentially you give yourself a timeout, you put your phone down. Some people, I can't. Well, then you have to put your phone down sometimes. My partner Sheila is getting on me sometimes because we're really busy with a launch and touring. Put your phone down. So I have my partner reminding me that sometimes I forget to do this stuff. Here's the deal. I don't have it all figured out. And you've seen me speak a couple times. I'm beyond upfront. You want authenticity? We'll bring it in spades to you because things happen. And it seems like everyone's got this perfectly curated online world. It's not. They don't show you the stuff like we're talking about.
Absolutely,
typically.
yeah.
Or they
It doesn't
go
look good
online.
on Facebook.
Or they whine for months about it, and it's like, stop, get a therapist, find a higher power, go take a walk in the desert. But nature's wonderful. Putting on music. I use music all the time as a pattern interrupt. Sometimes I get 3 or 4 emails. We went with somebody else. I get rejected constantly for meeting events. I win some, but I'm like, all right, I need some Bob Marley. It's time to get up, stand up, fight for your rights.
Yeah, so you
and
get
I'll
that,
throw on some reggae.
You get that email, obviously, it's discouraging,
Correct.
and you're saying, okay, time to put on some Bob and...
Yeah. Sometimes it's Metallica. Sometimes it's light jazz. Sometimes Gregorian chants. I'm a strange cat. Being the youngest of 9, I love it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you're going to be starting this event here pretty soon, and I want to let you go. So thank you so much for being with us. And if I could take this book, I need it. So if you want to leave it here.
I got 5 witnesses. The
autograph
guy
it
on the
for
guitar
you.
in the green room that noticed I gave you the book. So I'm in
cool.
trouble.
All right, I'm going to keep that. So good luck in 30 minutes, what you're going to do over there. I wish I could be
you.
there. What, you got something, Veronica?
Where do we find you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I thought you'd never ask.
there
It's
you go.
real easy.
Thank you. That's why I have a co-host.
Just check out mindcapturegroup.com. Again, mindcapturegroup.com for books and other shameless things to uplift your life.
There you go. Thank you so much for being with us. With that,
pleasure.
we are going to take a break. We'll be back with Cristian Perez. And yeah, he has his guitar over there next to Talent, so he's going to do some
Turn
songs
it up
for
to
us.
11.
You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by the 2 Welton locations of High Tanks Brewing Company, its craft brewery and tap room, featuring scratch-made food and handcrafted beers, including Daphne's Date Ale and the Gila Hazy IPA. Also, live music and experiences such as farm tours and glamping are available. More at hightanks.com.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's the hot spot.
But I feel like this has gone further than politics. This is killing people. This is murdering.
And they ran my background and everything. They checked my paperwork and everything was good. But the thing I didn't like is that they'd hail me at gunpoint while my kids were in the car.
The show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the shows tab.
It's the hot spot.
For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel. The future of Kennedy Pool continues to draw attention, with community members voicing their concerns at a recent Yuma City Council meeting. Kennedy Pool is one of 4 public pools that the city of Yuma owns, but it's been closed since 2019. City officials say millions of dollars would be required to make repairs and eventually reopen the pool. Parents and swimmers asked the city council to reconsider investing in the facility.
Not only are we competing against the best, we are not able to train effectively. We don't get to swim in a long course pool until 2 hours before our race starts. In Phoenix or Tucson, I understand that there's a budget that the city can find a way to make Kennedy Pool functional again. It will provide more space for our growing team and allow future competitive swimmers to get the most out of what Yuma has to offer.
In May, the city is expected to review possible capital improvement funds for 2027, including Kennedy Pool. For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel.
Ever wanted to be on the radio? Still talking into your hairbrush in the mirror? Border Radio needs you as a volunteer host. Share music, stories, and local conversations that matter. No experience necessary. We'll provide the training. Email info@borderradioaz.org or call 877-838-5292 for more information.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
I'm Mike Suba, and I'm a big supporter of KAWC. You're getting a great source of information about our community, about the people that are working and living here, and you start going, you know what, this is really a valued service. And that's the great thing, is you've got a partnership here. And I'm a big believer in partnerships because the one thing I realized early on in life, I can maybe do a lot of stuff on a very limited basis, but when I start partnering up, it's amazing what we can do when we pool our resources. And so I hope that when people are listening to the station, enjoying the news broadcasts and the entertainment shows that are being presented, that they realize that you're not only the end user and enjoying what's being broadcast to you, but it can be a partnership too, where you can participate, like I've discovered I can do, and help get this service, enhance it, and provide even better programming. I'm Mike Suba, and I support KAWC.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Cristian Perez, who is a local artist here in Yuma. And yes, he brought his guitar. And I was just listening to him on break. He was playing it. Do we have everything dialed in, Talon, over there with the guitar and everything?
Let's go.
Oh, we do. Okay. So get a little bit closer if you can to the mic so he doesn't have to turn it way up. Okay, you're born and raised here in Yuma?
Born and raised here in Yuma, Arizona. Went to Kofa High School. I'm a Kofa King.
Okay, what barrio did you grow up in here?
Oh, man.
Where'd you go to elementary school? We're going way back.
Yes, we are. Way back elementary school, I went to Post.
Post, okay.
So then we moved, and then I went to McGraw.
McGraw, that's where I went.
There and
shout out
Gila
Vikings
Vista.
in the Gila Vista. Yeah, they
got kicked out of Gila Vista.
Did you?
8th grade.
Oh,
was a bad kid, but now reformed.
Yeah, so you're a bad kid, but I read in your bio you were known as the guitar kid. Was that like that early you started playing guitar?
Since I was probably like 12, 13.
12, 13? Yeah. Okay, that's about junior high age, right?
Just about.
Yeah, and so at Gila Vista, you picked up a guitar. Like, what prompted that?
So my stepdad came into my room one day, just brought in this old beater steel string guitar that he found in like a garage sale, and he says, "Hey, I got this thing for you if you want it. I know you like music. Here you go." And I just kept plucking away at it until eventually it started making sounds I liked.
So hold on, wait a minute though, because I've tried that on my my son that's 13. I got here's a guitar, and he hasn't touched it yet. He's on YouTube most of the time, but something with you said, I'm going to figure this out.
I call it dumb persistence, because you don't really know what you're doing. You're just trying to figure it out, and you're trying to find sounds that you like. And as I kept playing, I kept making music. I would write little songs even when I was, 12, 13, but they weren't any good. Mm-hmm. The older I got, the more mature I got, the better my sound became, the more I learned.
Absolutely, yeah. That count anything, any type of progression.
I never gave up. I think that's the key. Because people will pick up the guitar, learn 3-4 chords. Hey, I sound good at a party. I can sing Wonderwall, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But for me, it was more about I need to create what I can hear in my mind. Mm-hmm. So that's the journey I've been on, and especially with my music.
Yeah, so you're young, like you said. It takes a little bit of tenacity because at first when you're plucking away, you're not making anything that sounds anything close to, like remotely like music. That's when I started. I was a rapper, so that's when I started rapping when I was like 12 or 13. And so I was like, what am I doing? And I would show people, and it's like, that's pretty bad, but I stuck with it. I stayed with it, and that's how I'm here today. But so you're doing that. You start to put some stuff together. What was it like when you kind of wrote that first song and you found your groove?
No, the first songs are always bad. And I think that's when I look back at it, I'm like, every song that I've written and every new song that I write is better than the last.
Oh, really?
So that's the joy. It's as I keep growing as a musician, I keep making better and better music. So I chase that.
You're like, I'm going somewhere. This something's happening.
And then you start seeing people vibe with your music. You're like, that's what you really like. Because I was actually in Phoenix for about 3 months training and for work. And I was able to kind of just go out into the streets, like there by the stadium, start busking. So I just put my hat down and started singing in front of people.
Wow.
And just
was that the first time you've ever done that?
Yeah,
like, that way. Okay.
So I just did that this last year, and I was getting people respond to my music. I'll just go out to the streets. People giving me, $10-15 here and there. And then I was doing open mics. So throughout Phoenix, there's just a ton of open mics. There's a little spot there in Scottsdale called the Handlebar J that's owned by a former 1990s country music band. Like they got a few hits on the radio, got their money, bought a bar in Scottsdale. Now that's what they do, right?
Oh, interesting.
So every Thursday night they do open mics, and they'll actually back the performers. So I was able to play my songs with a full band.
No
and just,
way.
Opened my mind to the possibilities of what I can do with my music. Mm-hmm. And I think since that moment, it's really put a bug in me to say, hey, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to sing my songs. I'm going to put it out there for everybody to hear. And as they do that, I'm going to collect people who can help me along the way. I have about 15 original songs. I need them recorded. Once I get them recorded, I'm going to stream them. I have, the goal to actually start gigging here in town this year. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So then let's try to think back to when you said you wrote your first terrible song, but you put it together. It was a song. What was it like to get that feeling though that you actually accomplished a song? Like I guess you don't really know how terrible it is at that point, but you got it together. Like that must have felt great.
It does. And the funny thing is it's always self-expression, right? So whatever you write about, it's what you're feeling, what you're vibing with.
That was going to be my next question. Like, where'd you get the inspiration for that first one? So go ahead.
So, I think it's like a grade school, you try to emulate your heroes, you try to rap a song, but like I said, going back, they were just not good. But now that I'm writing real songs, it's interesting how you learn how to write a song, because it's more than just rhyming. It's a premise, it's a feeling, it's an idea. Staying true to the idea is the most challenging part about writing a song, because you might get a good line, a good lyric, and you say, oh, I'm gonna hinge my idea on that. Then all of a sudden it goes nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's just a good line.
Yeah.
But what you need is a good premise, something that relates to everyone. And when you have that, that's how you know you have a song.
So the premise, you start to develop that, then that's kind of when your songs maybe get a little bit better. Then
that's when I started. So that's when I started becoming a real songwriter in my mind. Is when I actually understood the difference between writing good lyrics and writing a story. A story is what connects with people.
Absolutely. Everything's story and throughout existence, right? Everything goes back to story, and that's how we remember lessons.
Right.
Is through story. So then you said, okay, I can tell a good story. I got my guitar here, and it's like the things really started to click.
And back in the day, a lot of the way to teach people was through song, right? Like cautionary songs.
Oh yeah. Well then, that's also with like the nursery rhymes. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So theater is originated from that, right? So I was a theater kid too.
Let's talk about a little bit about that. So theater, did that help on the performing side? Obviously,
100%.
Yeah. I think you played. You were in Greece.
Yeah,
right?
the
Back
Kofa
at
High School production of Greece. I was Danny Zuko. I got a scholarship to go to Eastern Arizona College through one of the thespian festivals that we did, and I did theater all through college. So I've been in front of people a lot of my life. I was a salesman for many years. I sold cars at Chapman Chevrolet. They call me Chevy Dad. That's my.
Oh yeah, that's why you're Chevy Dad on the.
Chevy Dad.
It's funny because when you first reached out to me out there, I was like, "Who's this guy trying to sell me a car?" Really? I saw Chevy Dad, and I'm like, I get hit up by so many car salesmen on there. It's like, yeah, no. And then you said, no, yeah, I got music, and so I went and checked it out, and good stuff. But performing though, like was that something that you kind of vibed with as well? Like going up on stage, like
Absolutely.
you like that feeling?
I can remember being on stage when I was a kid or, doing theater and thinking to myself, like, there's some nerves that come with that, right? Everybody gets nervous right before they get on stage. And just thinking to myself, like, no, these aren't nerves. This is excitement. This is what
Well, that's what it is.
Literally,
that's what nerves are.
Yeah.
It's excitement. It's energy that goes somewhere. You just have to figure out how to put that or where to put that. Channel it. Exactly.
Yeah, and then once you're on stage, you're on. So like that becomes the aesthetic of life for me, because like once you're performing, that's when you get to really inhabit a role or inhabit a song. That's when you get to communicate with people. Like the way I write my music, it's all about communicating my experience to somebody else. And like there's only so much that I can say with my words. I've been talking my entire life.
Talking.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I realized that if I've been talking so long that I have these songs that are just little nuggets of who I am and what I've lived and what I know. And when I get to sing them to somebody else and they get to relate to them, that's how I know, like, hey, we're all human. We get to really share in that experience. So that's what music is to me. That's why I do it.
Are you writing when you're healed? Or because I love to listen to sad songs when I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Like it's the saddest songs will be playing off my playlist when I'm really happy.
When you're happy, okay.
If I'm really sad, then I can't listen to anything.
It's so weird how it happens, because a lot of times, like, I'll be praying and I'll be struck with just words, music, things that want to come out, and that's really how I write. Sometimes I get into a mind, like a creative flow, and I just let my words come out, and then it's like I get hit by lightning. It comes out instantly, and then after that I go, I know I have a song. Once I get hit by lightning, I have the premise. I go, I might have 2 lines.
You might just 2 lines, and then but you get
2
that
days
feeling.
Later, they start, the song matures, and I start meditating on it, and okay, now I understand. This is a song. But it just takes that.
So could you let me know some of your inspiration, like people that you kind of looked up to and you wanted to maybe mold yourself after?
I was a Jimi Hendrix fan.
He was
my idol as a kid. And then Jack White. I love Jack White. He's a rocker. I mean, I think my voice has grown past like the rock genre. I really I love country. So I like Chris Stapleton. I like Marcus King. That guy's great. So that's kind of like my inspiration for my music now.
So and then it sounds like it's matured a little bit or developed, right? And things have changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what would you consider your music if you had to pick a genre? Because we're going to hear some after the break here pretty soon.
That's a hard question, man. Like I really don't know how to answer people when I say that. It's like when they ask me what kind of genre, I say country.
You say country, okay?
Yeah, I would say I'm a country guy.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I was listening earlier. It didn't really sound to me too country-ish, but we're
Pop
the people.
country.
The reason why it's
Well, it wasn't
country.
really poppy
It's
there?
because I tell stories with my songs.
Okay.
And I
but
feel
folk does that too a
folk
bit.
does it
Yeah,
too.
there's a bit of that in folk.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. I think the reason I say I'm country is because I know that like country is where people tell stories, and like maybe rap.
Yeah.
Right.
And Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Hi to all my Swifties.
Yeah. So real quick, Veronica, what sad songs do you listen to? Who's your sad? I just need to know real quick. Are you getting like Joy Division to like that sad or what?
No, like sad Whitney Houston songs.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha.
know,
Okay. Yeah, so on that level. But so now that we figured that out, we're going to take a break. And on the other side of the break, we are going to come back with a live performance. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Yuma Southwest Contractors Association is hosting its Career and Trades Expo from 9 to 2 on March 3rd and 4th at the Yuma County Fairgrounds. Open to middle and high school students, the event will provide hands-on trades experience and opportunities to explore career options within our community. Details at yswca.com.
Mostly cloudy in Yuma today with the high near 76. Cloudy tonight with a low around 52. In Prescott, partly sunny with the high near 59 and gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight with low around 37. In Flagstaff, partly sunny with the high near 52 and gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low around 27. And mostly cloudy in Kingman with the high near 62 and a 30% chance of showers. Gusts as high as 28 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low around 42.
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero. I'm Melanie Ruiz Lopez.
And I'm Sajay Barcenas. In this new episode, we'll be talking about first-generation students.
I am proud of being a first-generation student.
I'm representing my family name quite well in doing this.
Being a first-generation college student myself, I struggled a lot because I didn't ask for help.
A new energy with the same mission.
To give students a voice.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. Yes, we are going to get some live music here in a bit, but before we do that, you kind of mentioned that you haven't been in a studio yet. You can't find these songs anywhere.
That's the thing. So these the only place you find it is when I'm sitting in front of you playing this song. So I like to play around. Like I go to Cafecito a lot and I jam out there and I play. But the goal is to start gigging here in town. So I really want to start playing my music. And if anybody out there can help me get these songs recorded, I have about 15 original songs. I'm looking to make an album. So we're ready to go.
Very cool.
So I was in the music business.
Yeah.
That's how I started in all of this. It's an investment, right? I always tell people, and I was actually telling somebody yesterday, it's how much you believe in yourself. You put a budget towards getting a recording studio. And there's a few here. I'll just let you know, there's a few here that you can actually go into and produce some good stuff. Maybe you don't do the whole 15 right away because that's a big budget, but go in there and do some of it. Get used to being in the studio. Have you been in the studio before?
No, not officially.
Never. Wow. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you just do that. But you have to just start off somewhere and get some of those in. And put them on. What are they kids doing now? Is SoundCloud or I don't even know. Spotify. Yeah. You do that. But so this is going to be kind of an exclusive then because
absolutely
right here because people like maybe turn back in the day when a song would come on the radio. You record it on your tape deck. But no, this is going to be on Facebook and YouTube, of course. But what song are you going to do for us right now?
So the first song is called "Criminals and Kings."
Criminals and
Kings.
Kings.
This is a Yuma song.
That sounds like
you
it.
know if you know kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Criminals and Kings right here, live.
Lately I've been cutting losses and bearing crosses of sins I never thought would get forgotten, forgiven, but I guess I just thought that it wouldn't feel like this. So why does it feel like this? And lately I've been drinking too much. I'm thinking it's 'cause I'm spilling out what's been filling my cup and calling it love, but it's only loneliness. Well, maybe you
almost killed me. Back there where my home was. Oh, take me back home, back to Yuma, Arizona. Back where criminals and kings don't do saintly things. Don't say I never warned you. Well, lately I've been missing my mom. Was wishing I called a little bit more, but then again, no. 'Cause why would she wanna hear from no one like me? But Lord, I'm down on my knees, and lately I've been saying too much, not praying enough. I'm only asking for the strength to get up in the name of Jesus, because I'm down on my knees. Yeah. Someone come rescue me and take me back home. Take me back home, back to Yuma, Arizona. Back where Colorado River Ghost almost killed me. Back there where my home was. Oh, take me back home, back to Yuma, Arizona. Back where criminals and kings don't do saintly things. Don't say I never warned you. Oh, take me back home.
All right. Yeah.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah,
Good job.
that's a good song for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you didn't die in the Colorado River. Whatever happened, I don't know. It sounds. I almost did once, actually. No joke.
We all almost drowned in that river.
I floated all the way down. I was almost in Mexico by the time I was able to get a branch and like, okay, we're gonna go back to safety. But let's do another song. I think we need to do another one. You brought, I think, total of 4, but let's see how many we can get in. All right, let's go.
I'm sitting at the birdcage waiting for our first day, thinking out loud. Every second gone by's another second gone. Every second gone by's another hour. Well, staring at your photos, wondering if you know those girls in the background. Everybody's so happy in the pictures, but there's something else about your smile. And I see you walking with your best friend. I just pretend not to see you, and I guess the bartender's guessing. And so I'm moving for a clear view, and your eyes look up and you see me, and my eyes look up and I see you. Same eye, same girl, I've been thinking about sitting here waiting for all damn night. And I know right now what I know back then, that I'm in love with the girl in the photos. I'm in love with the girl with your smile. Yeah. Ooh, I'm in love with your smile. Well, 7 years in and I'm sitting with my best friend, thinking out loud. Every year gone by's another memory. Every memory I have of you is ours. We're gathering for pictures, take one of the kids first. Just sitting around the table as we're picking up for company, and the kids are in the backyard acting wild. And I watch her playing with cousins. She's too small, she gets pushed to her knees, and she says it ain't fair, and it wasn't. And I'm wiping off tears from her cheeks, and her eyes look up and I see you. In her watered up eyes I can see it. Same eyes, same girl, I've been thinking about sitting here praying for all my life. And I know right now what I know back then,
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
Let's go. One more.
One more. As soon as you hear the outro music, and we'll stop.
All right, deal.
Are we so far away from love? Is heaven falling down or up? I shouldn't lie awake, but what am I to do with so much time to think about us? To think about us? To think about us? To think about us? 'Cause I thought about the moment when you told me it was only fair that I love you like I love myself. But did you think about us? Baby, did you think about us? 'Cause I don't think I can tell this time. Oh, I'm fighting with myself this time. Are we so far away that we can't make a phone call? I never saw the world pause like it did that day. The way your lips would hesitate and just thought that you would think about us. But did you think about us? Or did you think about us? 'Cause I thought about the moment when you told me it was all pretend, that I love you but it just depends. And did you think about?
All right, there we go. Cristian Perez, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
being
brother.
with
I
us.
appreciate you.
And tell everybody how to find you real quick on
Yuma Chevy
Instagram.
Dad on Instagram.
And he
Find
won't
me
sell
there.
you a car.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the Kofa app. Stay tuned for Kofa's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we're going to be joined by Russell and Scott McLeod. They're going to be talking about the Mardi Gras event going on downtown.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
All right. And we're also going to have Jason Taylor from Vertical Church. He's going to come on and talk about that as well. Thank you so much for that live performance right there, man.
That was
so
a first?
much.
First live performance?
Yeah, and you know what? You said country. I don't really like country, so that can't be country. Don't tell me that's country, because that was good, all right?
That's country, brother.
All right, man.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Thanks for listening to KOFA Yuma, whether it is on the radio at 94.7 FM or 1320 AM, or on your smartphone with the Kofa app, or on your computer at kawc.org. We are glad you have chosen us.
The territorial chapter of the American Business Women's Association hosts its annual Women's Expo from 8 to 2 on Saturday, March 28th at the Yuma Civic Center. The event brings women together to explore local businesses, enjoy interactive activities, and treat themselves to something new. Details at abwaYumaaz.org.